Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, all of that good stuff. So, a brilliant fight between Jermall Charlo and Sergiy Derevyanchenko for the WBC middleweight title. This was an outstanding fight from start to finish. Both guys came to fight, both guys were aggressive, both guys had their moments, and yeah man, both guys really put on a show. Jermall Charlo won the fight by a unanimous decision. If anybody won this fight, in my opinion, it was Charlo, though in my opinion, this fight was a lot closer than at least two of the judges' scorecards, but the decision itself is certainly not controversial, in my opinion. If anybody deserved their hand raised, in my opinion, it was Jermall Charlo. But yeah, regardless, man, this was a great fight, and, you know, this fight really lived up to the hype. This fight was billed as Jermall Charlo's first real test at 160, and it was also billed as the hardest fight of his career, and that's how it played out. You know, it was certainly the hardest fight of Charlo's career in terms of like pure physicality and, you know, just damage accumulated. Derevyanchenko certainly gave him some rough moments. I was actually really impressed with Charlo in the first 3 rounds. I felt his jab looked really strong, really powerful. And, you know, he was spearing Derevyanchenko with that jab. At times, Derevyanchenko was catching on the gloves, but, you know, Charlo was landing that jab. And also the right hand behind it was certainly having success. And yeah, I was really impressed with how Jermall Charlo looked in those first 3 rounds. He was holding his shape really well, maintaining composure. Like I said, the jab looked good. And in the third round, Jermall Charlo hurt Sergiy Derevyanchenko with, I believe, a right hand, and it really kind of sent Derevyanchenko backwards on wobbly legs, but Charlo couldn't get a knockdown. And yeah, after 3 rounds, I was thinking to myself, yo, Charlo could actually put on a show here and knock this guy out. But credit to Derevyanchenko, after the bad third round after getting hurt, he rebounded, and in the rest of the fight, he certainly had a lot of success. You know, every time both guys were up close, I felt Derevyanchenko was doing the better work. He was certainly more active, though Charlo at times was actually having his own success on the inside, working the body, coming up the middle with that right uppercut, which we talked about in our pre-fight video. So Charlo himself wasn't exactly, you know, out of his comfort zone on the inside. He actually handled that pretty well, in my opinion. Yeah, Derevyanchenko was outworking him when it was up close, but Charlo was still doing work himself, which I was impressed with. I liked what I saw from Charlo on the inside. And yeah, as this fight played out, it was just a bit of a war, to be honest. Every time the fight was on the outside, naturally Charlo was having more success behind that jab. He was pinging Derevyanchenko with some really hard straight right hands. And yeah man, it was a really kind of back and forth fight after the 4th round. Round 8 in particular was a really good round because both guys were hurt. I think Charlo was hurt to the body by Sergiy Derevyanchenko, and, you know, it resulted in Charlo backing up, and he got hit with several flush shots to the head because he was protecting the body. And towards the end of round 8, Charlo showed some really good heart, great determination to actually hurt Derevyanchenko after being hurt previously in that round himself. He caught Derevyanchenko with a lovely straight right hand, which kind of buckled Derevyanchenko's knees. His legs didn't go, but you could certainly see that Derevyanchenko felt that shot. And yeah, the championship rounds in this fight were very keenly fought, closely contested, you know, both guys banging it out. And yeah, man, this fight just delivered, man. It was a really good fight. Really good fight. Like I said, I think Jermall Charlo is the deserved victor, though as far as I'm concerned, this fight was a lot closer than a lot of people had it. Just my opinion, you know. I just felt Derevyanchenko did a bit better than a couple of those scorecards indicated. But yeah, credit to both guys for putting on the show. You know, Jermall Charlo, in my opinion, has really announced himself in the middleweight division. I think he's actually been in the middleweight division now for around 4 years, like 3.5 years, something like that. And up until this point, Jermall Charlo really hadn't done anything impressive at 160. But this win changes that, in my opinion. Derevyanchenko is a top 10 middleweight, a 2-time world title challenger. The guy's proved his worth even in defeat to Danny Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin. He's proved he's a top 10 middleweight. And, Jermall Charlo beat him. So that's a good scalp on his resume. And yeah, that's the sort of win Jermall Charlo needs right now. He got that WBC title basically due to the WBC politics of franchise champion. And a lot of people saw him as a paper champion. After this sort of victory, I think this win really legitimizes Jermall Charlo's title reign, as WBC middleweight champion. He put on a really good show. He showed some good heart because it wasn't going all his own way. And yeah, he responded well when he had to. All in all, this was a pretty positive performance by Jermall Charlo, in my opinion. I'm not saying it was a perfect performance because Jermall Charlo has flaws. We've seen that in this fight. But, Derevyanchenko gives everyone problems. He gave Golovkin problems. He gave Jacobs problems. And when I say problems, I'm basically not doing that justice. He gave those guys nightmares. So when you compare the performances, you've got to give the kid credit. I certainly think he matched those guys, apart from not knocking Derevyanchenko down. So yeah, man, credit to Jermall Charlo. A lot of people picked him to lose this fight. I picked him to win, but I thought it'd be controversial, to the point where the masses thought he lost, but he got the decision. That's not what happened. Most people think Jermall Charlo won. I've seen a few people out there say that Derevyanchenko won. I don't really see that Derevyanchenko won 7 rounds in this fight, but like I said, it was closer than the judges had it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where Jermall Charlo goes next. Hopefully, again, this is probably asking for too much. Hopefully, he can try to unify with one of the other champions, maybe someone like Demetrius Andrade. But of course, we have the boxing politics at play there, so more than likely that fight won't happen. But hopefully, Jermall Charlo can actually build on this, and he gets a pretty good fight, a big fight next. As for Sergiy Derevyanchenko, how old is he now? 34, 35? He's now 13-3. He's had 3 failed world title attempts. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board, go back to his team, and really decide what to do next, whether he wants one more run. I can't see him winning a world title now, to be honest with you. Maybe he can try and get himself to in a position to fight someone like Andrade. But at this point, for Sergiy Derevyanchenko, I think the boat has sailed, if I'm being honest. But yeah, all in all, a really good fight. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely lived up to the hype. Share your thoughts below. Beanie Boy Del Boy. I'm out. Peace.